Evan and Mia were siblings who spent most of their afternoons exploring old books, dusty attics, and forgotten corners of their grandfather's house. Their grandfather, an old sailor with a long white beard, often told them stories about hidden islands, strange creatures, and treasures buried under the sea. But nothing fascinated Evan and Mia more than the attic because it was filled with chests and trunks from Grandpa's adventures. One rainy day, when thunder rolled across the sky and the smell of wet earth drifted through the windows, Evan suggested they explore the attic again. Mia agreed instantly. They grabbed a lantern and climbed up the creaky wooden stairs. Inside, everything was covered in a thin blanket of dust. Old ship ropes, rusted compasses, and seashells from distant lands lay scattered around. In the corner, something new caught Mia's eye, old rolled-up map, tied with a red ribbon that definitely had been there before. "Mia, look at that," Evan said, wiping dust off the table as she unrolled it carefully. The map was yellowed and brittle, the edges torn, but the drawings were still clear mountains, rivers, forests, and at the center, a curious symbol shaped like an eye inside a star. Suddenly, the map trembled, the lines glowing faintly. Evan jumped back. Mia gasped. Then, in the softest whisper, a voice came from the map. "Seek the heart of adventure." The siblings froze. Evan whispered, "Did that map just talk?" Before Mia could answer, the voice spoke again, louder this time. "Follow the path of courage. Begin where the sun meets the sea." The attic shook slightly, as if a breeze had passed through even though the windows were closed. The glowing lines on the map rearranged themselves, forming a small blinking mark at the bottom corner. Evan's eyes widened. "It's giving us directions." Mia nodded, excitement overcoming her fear. "We have to follow it. Grandpa always said the attic keeps secrets until the right time." They ran downstairs to get their raincoats, boots, and a small bag of supplies. When they showed the map to Grandpa, his eyes sparkled with recognition. "That," he said softly, "is the map of whispers. Legend says it reveals a mystery only to those with brave hearts. If it spoke to you, children, your adventure has begun." With his blessing, they set off toward the beach at the edge of the village, where waves crashed softly and seagulls circled overhead. The blinking mark on the map grew brighter whenever they walked in the right direction. At the shoreline, the map whispered again. "Step onto the stones of memory." Evan frowned. "What stones?" Mia scanned the beach until she spotted a line of flat stones half buried in the sand, arranged in a crooked path leading toward the old lighthouse. "Those must be it," she said. They followed the stones, each step making the symbol at the map's center glow brighter. The lighthouse loomed tall, its windows dark. Grandpa had told them it hadn't been used in years. When they reached its entrance, the door creaked open by itself. Evan swallowed hard. "Okay, that's not spooky at all." Mia held the map tightly and stepped inside. The air smelled of salt and old metal. Spiral stairs curled up the tower like a seashell. The map whispered once more, "Climb, until the wind speaks." They climbed slowly, their footsteps echoing. At the top, the room was empty except for an old telescope pointing out toward the sea. Evan peered through it. "I don't see anything." "Wait." Far out on the horizon, a small island appeared, one that neither of them had ever heard about. As Evan stared through the telescope, the island glowed faintly. The same bluish light the map had shown. Mia looked at the map again. A new path had appeared, a dotted line from the village to the island. "It wants us to go there, but how?" Evan wondered. "We don't have a boat." Just then, they heard a familiar voice behind them. "You won't need a big one." Grandpa stood in the doorway, holding a small sailboat key. "When I was your age, the map called me too. But I never reached the island. Perhaps it chose you to finish what I couldn't." Minutes later, they were in Grandpa's small sailboat, gliding over the waves. The sea was calm, and the map continued glowing softly, lighting their way like a guiding lantern. As they approached the island, mist swirled around them, thick and shimmering. Evan gripped the boat's edge. "Are we going through that?" Mia nodded. "We have to." They sailed straight into the mist. Everything went white. The sound of the sea faded. For a moment, they felt weightless, as if floating in a dream. When the mist cleared, they found themselves near a shore covered in sparkling sand. The island looked magical: trees with silver leaves, flowers that glowed faintly, and a gentle humming sound coming from somewhere deep inside the forest. The map whispered again, "Find the Eye of Secrets." Following the glowing dotted path, they walked through the forest until they reached a clearing with a stone pedestal. On it lay a crystal shaped like the same Ionestar symbol from the map. Evan reached for it, but the crystal floated up, spinning and shining brightly. A warm voice filled the air. "You who followed courage and curiosity, you have unlocked the mystery of the talking map. It was created to guide explorers to places forgotten by time, but its power can only be restored by those pure of heart." The crystal gently lowered back onto the pedestal. The map rolled itself up and landed quietly in Mia's hands. Its glow faded, but the symbol remained warm to the touch. Evan whispered, "So, the mystery is solved." Mia smiled. "No, I think this is just the beginning." As they walked back to the shore, the sea breeze carried the feeling of endless adventures waiting beyond the horizon. They had uncovered the secret behind the talking map, but every mystery they knew opened the door to another map, and the map of whispers, now silent but alive, would one day speak again.